Hi, I am Frederick van Amstel. I am the designer of the Expansive Hospital game. This game is about building a hospital with conflicts of interest between the players. The players play like engineers, the architect, the hospital director, the nurse and the contractor. They all compete and also collaborate to build a hospital. I'm going to show you with this prototype how the game unfolds according to the rules. These are the game components. Here you see the board with the place where the hospital will be built. These are the available spots. Each spot can be filled by one block and also underneath the pipes. The blocks are built by builder markers. They walk around here and they throw a dice to see weather conditions. The pipes, they must follow the routes defined by servicing points. That's how the first moment enters water or cooling or heating inside your facility. So here you see different kind of patterns going on. Here you have the patient queue. Every card of here is a patient. And these are the patient markers. Patients will walk around the building like this. And the patients have satisfaction points. These are the players' roles. Each player will play a role like the director, architect, engineer, facility manager. Each player has a different rule, a different way of playing the game. They earn money, which first comes to the hospital by treating the patients, and then they go to players. The players are the construction site, like engineer, architect, contractor. They are hired using different kind of contracts. They affect the way they negotiate for the money and the design. Information is very important in this game, so every player has a different database. They can use pens and pencils to draw and store some information and think about how the hospital will be built in the future. This is in a nutshell all the elements of the game, and I will show you how the rules work in details now. The first things to do is to see which patients are waiting in the queue to enter the hospital. Every turn, a new card with the patient is drawn. These are 4 patients waiting to enter the hospital. A brain tumor, cancer, worms, heart attack and burn. The patients, they can be accepted into the hospital or they can also sent to another hospital. If they have an emergency icon, that means they cannot stay waiting in the queue. They either go inside the hospital or they go away. If the patient goes away, the credibility point will go down 1. At the beginning it starts at 10, and if you get 0, the hospital is closed. If you go up to 20, then the game is won. This is the winning condition. So the point of the game is actually to treat 10 patients in a row, and then you win the game. When deciding what to build, you have to look at the requirements for each patient. The brain tumor patient requires 4 different blocks to be built. MRI scanner, operation theater, CT scanner and dormitory. These are quite expensive facilities. However, you also earn 2,000 as a reward, as an income from the insurance bank. This is a high cost investment, but also high profitable. There's only 1 patient like this in the whole game. 2,000 is a lot. That's the initial amount that you get to start with the game from. In contrast, the burn patient also has an emergency, only requires 2 blocks, infirmary and operation theater. It gives you less money, but there are more of these cards around. So if you build the facilities for this patient, then you also earn money for other patients like this. Now I have to decide which patient to send and which patient I would accept. And I have to think about which of these facilities are in common among the patients, so I build something that can treat different patients. Let's see how it works with building. The first thing to do is to define which kind of blocks you want to build. Looking at the patients here in the queue, I defined that I want first to treat the patient with burn. This patient only requires infirmary and operation theater. So I take infirmary and operation theater here from the blocks, plus an entrance hall. The entrance hall is required for every building, of course. Then I look down them, which are the requirements for these blocks. So I see them here, what colors they need. Then I think about the pipes. Well, I actually can think about pipes later. Now I know what needs to be built. I have to choose a contract. The director has to choose. The traditional contract is the one where there will be different builders competing for the contract. The builder who wins is the one who will earn money. So they will bid for the least amount of money. The instructions on how to conduct a contract is on the other side, flipping the card. The instructions are different for every contract, and that affects the negotiation and the possibilities of each player, the responsibilities. Fast track is the one that you hire directly the contractor with no competition, and it is very fast, not much negotiation. On the contracts, the integrated contract, there's a lot of discussions and negotiation among the construction guys. They will deliver for a very short amount of money, but also it will take more time. Of course, the director can always control time using the hard glasses and telling guys it's only 5 minutes for each construction round. So before the game starts, actually, you have to define where there will be entry points. The entry points are different services entering, like the colors of the pipes. They are the entry points. If the pipe is not connected with the entry point, then it's like not working. So these are the initial position, also of the builder. The builders, like suppose that we have two builders, they decide to start at different places in the board. Like this builder wanted to build in this side, the other builder is on that side. Every time there's a construction round, they will throw a dice. That will define 3. Oh! 3 means that the weather is not bad, not good, so you can only walk 3 steps. They will only be able to build 3 blocks, and that's great because I only need to build 3 blocks. If the weather condition was 1, really bad, like snowing and slippery, then that means they would only be able to build at least 2 blocks. The one where he is and the next one where he walks to. So here I throw 3, I will build the 3 blocks. So I select here the puzzle. I have to do the puzzle now about the pipes because some blocks have different requirements. Let's suppose I want to build the entrance hall here, the operation theater here, and the infirmary there. So let's see what are the requirements, and let's put a box. Let's see. I want to build green and blue into that direction. Then let's put this one here, and because I want green in that direction, I will do it like this. And here I just continue the network. Let's build entrance hall here and the infirmary there because, you know, red and blue it's connected, and operation theater here. Wait a minute, you can't do that. Look, the blue pipe is not connected. Let's change this design. Let's build operation theater in this side. This side is all connected, and put the entrance hall in this side. Okay, great. It's built, and this is now the time to pay every construction workers. So the hospital director will give the money according to the different contracts to the players. This is the end of the construction round. Let's start the healthcare round. First of all, I have to draw a new card with a new patient, legionellosis. This patient must fulfill one of these 4 spots. I have to send away or either admit one of these patients. Since I already have operation theater for the heart attack patient and also infirmary for the burn patient, I choose to admit these 2 patients here. The worms patient and the brain tumor. Brain tumor requires so much, it's so expensive, at the beginning of the game is too much for me. I decide to send him away and take the legionellosis place. So now I go down 1 point in my credibility rating. That's not bad. I still have 9 points left to manage and not lose the game. So now let's see how I treat all those 2 patients. First of all, they will have satisfaction points. Here in the corner of the patient card, it has a number that says the amount of walking steps he can do inside a facility. Every step, every block he walks, he loses one of these satisfaction points to the max of 6 satisfaction points. So this patient has to go to operation theater, and he starts from entrance hall 1 and 2. So he lost 2. Now he has to wait for 1 round until he can get to the next step, which is the intensive care, which I still have to build on the next turn because I don't have it in my hospital. Let's treat the 4th patient. So he goes to the infirmary, 1, 2, 3 steps. Oh, wait a minute. Who is this guy here? That's the builder marker. Remember that he walked 3 steps? So now he stopped here. He chose to stop here, there. It's stupid. Now he is blocking the patient, and he cannot allow the patient to stay there for safety reasons. That means that this patient will not be able to enter the hospital now. He will have to wait. And actually, he cannot wait because it has an emergency icon. That means this patient is sent away. And 1 credibility rating goes down. Why this happened? Bad design. Why the builder has left the builder marker here? He should have looked at the other cards, and the patient cards, and left the builder somewhere else. Okay, that's a disadvantage for the hospital, but still we have 1 patient here. We'll give him some money. This is now we have to pay the maintenance fees to the facility manager. This guy here. The rules about how much money he earns are written in the card, but I have to summarize that he will earn money by the age of these blocks. Every turn it costs more and more and more to maintain these blocks. At some point you would want to rebuild or retrofit one of these blocks just because it's costing too much for maintenance, and this guy is getting really rich. This is in summary how the healthcare round works. Before it ends, the nurse would earn the money for her duties, and also the director, they would also earn according to what's written in the card. After the healthcare round is over, then you can start building again in the construction round. Now I have to build what was required for the patient. Heart attack patient requires a dormitory. So I need a dormitory. But the dormitory requires, of course, blue and red color. Where I'm gonna put it here? Hey, I don't remember which place where had different kind of colors. I don't remember which one is connected, and I cannot touch these blocks and lift them and look beneath. Otherwise, the builder, the guy who is in charge of this marker, he may charge an amount of money to me as a penalty, as an inspection tax. So now it shows the importance of keeping track of information. That's why you have these blank sheets here. I will show an example from other players that already played this game. So this is the sheet of 1 player who was playing the architect, and he made all these drawings with the different colors to remember himself where this was built, where the pipes are now. There are different strategies of keeping up with information. So look at what the director draw in another play session. Here you see that he made a lot of calculations. He thought well about his strategy and how other players would also interact. He was predicting everything that would happen in the game. That's very important because this gives you a lot of advantage in this game. So now I will have to build, and if I don't know where information is, players can also start to interfere with each other and say, I know what it takes to build here, so I have to sell that information to you. You pay me 20 and I tell you where the pipes are. If, for instance, a pipe is put in here, like thinking that this pipe is connected, and then once it's built, the contractor will say, okay, I will build here, but that's a problem. Oh, it is connected, so it was a good one. But however, let's say I was putting it like that, and now I have a red pipe going through a blue pipe. That's called clash. When you have a clash, then the builder might charge you even an extra amount of money, which is even larger than an inspection. That's called clash fix, and it earns a lot of money for the builder. So it's very important that the design is good enough, so this kind of problems doesn't happen. Otherwise, the hospital goes quickly bankrupt. If the hospital goes bankrupt and overdue the 2,000 amount of money which initially was ascribed to the hospital, then what happens is that the game is over and then players would count how much money do they have individually, and then the winner will be the one who has the most money. However, as a group, the players lost the game. Of course, the game will go on if there's money coming from the patients. Every patient gives you a certain amount of money, goes first to the hospital, then goes to the players. So now you saw how the game works, construction round, healthcare round, and that's it. So the gist of the game is actually how players negotiate and interact with each other to collaborate and also compete for building the hospital. If it's too much competition, the hospital goes quickly bankrupt. If it's too much collaboration, one of these players, they will have an advantage over the others. So the game is all about competing and collaborating and finding a balance between the two. If you do that, then the hospital will grow really large, really big. That's the expansive hospital. If the players, they do not collaborate at all, the hospital will be very expansive, not expansive. It will cost a lot and the hospital will go bankrupt quickly. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that you can also play this game in person.